to order.
Board.
Ready to close the meeting calls? Yep. So everybody has the most updated, including all you guys, budget worksheet. So this will tell us where we're at with the budget. You wanna go down it?
Yep. Looks like, most of the numbers are pretty much like you saw, except the local receipt number now includes the building department situation where the building department's gonna work for a number of towns. So we're putting the budget in, and then what we get from the other towns, we'll go back into local receipts, so that's included in that 1.26. The school, we have it at 4%. And
Hoping they'll come in.
that's what we hope. And I said, the increase in operational budget for the year, schools are taking 2/3 of that increase as their increase, kind of. But it's probably not too bad because they're half the size of the town anyway, so.
Keep going.
Yes. Yep. I'm sorry. Building department, you see in red, the 98, that's the extra hours. Police department budget, 685, chief.
Hey! How are you? Good.
So
Now, is that police with their
Police.
union contract, or that hasn't been
That's
done?
not done yet.
police chief, Fay found some more, so that's
Okay.
685. Now that includes 14,000 for assistant chief of road. That's it here. I guess information technology. And looks like you'll be, probably, you'll have to put in a bid for next year. Give it to the contractor. So this is the number.
Yeah, we're gonna
So
have
is that-
managed IT going forward.
So Adam isn't going to be
He may not be.
the director.
Correct. Yep.
It'll
He
be
submitted
put
a
out to bid.
resignation, it's gonna go to bid.
But this is the number, pay for that.
Yep, so basically I took, that whole budget, took out what Rutland would pay us back, and I let, that's the number I moved with. It may be high, Adam said it could be high. It's the unknown right now, so to play it safe, I thought that's,
So we're not going to be regionalized?
nope.
Rutland? Okay.
I'm confused with that. Has Rutland sent anything formal to the select board according to the agreement where they're supposed to provide a 90-day notice before a fiscal year? In other words,
It's not.
2 weeks
they're-
before town meeting is not acceptable according to our agreement.
Okay, the situation is they're not bailing out. The person that's doing the IT bailing out.
So we hire a new IT person. I mean, that's how the agreement's written. So if everybody's going to vendor agreements, then we're technically bailing out of the agreement. Is that, so that, I'm just curious.
Well, that wouldn't have anything to do with this group though, that would be something you guys have to discuss. They're just the financial part.
Right. But the financial part depends on whether we're going with a new IT person or not. We may need to budget another 10,000, not drop it by 30,000 because it's gonna cost more to get an IT person in. With today, because you may not get someone at the rate Adam was providing. I'm just putting it out there.
That's your decision and based on
But before you had asked us to include you in the discussion, so that's why I'm bringing it up.
who you're gonna do it with is the thing. What we wanna give you is that you can't go an extra 10,000 instead of a minus. we can't do it. That's our input. You guys decide what you wanna do,
So,
but the input from this committee is, you can't increase that much. Not right now.
so, I mean, it's up to you guys what you wanna do. It sounds like Rutland's going on their own, so that's why we're making adjustments to the budget this way. You guys will probably discuss it Monday night at your regular meeting.
So they've sent us a letter,
Adam sent us a
but
resignation.
we haven't heard from us.
No, they, not that I'm aware of, I'm kind of the middle goat here.
I understand.
And I haven't seen anything yet.
And I'll send an email to Phil. I need Phil to formally ask Rutland what their plan is.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because the rumors through the air are just not gonna help at all. So if we make a formal request, Rutland, what are you doing? Our plan is to hire a new IT person and continue the agreement. And just start it like that, and then ask them to come back and see if they wanna rewrite everything or not.
That's good.
I don't wanna change the plan, because right now we've got so much up in the air, I don't wanna say, hey, let's do everything brand new. I'd rather say, let's continue the agreement and just get a new person in place.
Yeah, I think the problem is, we're a little off from you guys right now, sorry, but that situation is not working for any of the people, any of the, entities involved. It's not working. This was the first year, we just passed year one in January, February. And it's just not a working
They're not getting the
situation.
service.
They call
Yeah.
them in the middle of the night to forget to ask what the kid.
So I don't know.
Okay?
That would have to be a conversation for
Yeah.
Monday, so I
Well,
guess I'll ask you guys what you want to do.
Let's stick with the 71.
I would recommend at least sticking with the original budget Adam provided.
That's what I said, we stick with the budget.
Okay.
Yeah,
Rather than the deduct taking out the Rutland and all of that.
we know nothing right now.
And if we're able to do it cheaper, it just saves us money.
Right.
I don't understand this agreement. Is this just the IT person part?
That's it.
There's
It's
nothing
not
else
the IT
included
services.
with that regional?
No,
Okay,
no, we have
I
our own
wasn't
expense
sure.
budget, they have their own expense budget,
Okay.
we only shared the salary.
the person.
Yes.
Okay.
Correct.
That's what I wanted to make sure.
He resigned from the regional IT director, so he, that salaried position is no longer as of June 30th. However, just for point of clarification, he is not planning on leaving the town hanging. He does have projects, we do have things outstanding that he plans on finishing. Okay, so I will
So we go
make a
with the
change back to the
112,
112,570.
Do we go with that?
Some more,
Huh?
yeah, I think that's,
The 112,570?
no,
71, five.
That's cutting Rutland out. That is the cutting out Rutland number.
It was 91,000.
These guys are gonna check in with Rutland anyway, that's a good idea, but,
The budget presented was 91,000.
right.
And then we were gonna get receipts that offset that.
No, actually, because his time, he knew that the position was not, he couldn't fulfill the position with that number, it includes an assistant. So the 112 is what he requested. He made an amendment to his original budget
One 12.
to 112,570.
But that's time in the other town also.
This is
Right.
this is what I'm explaining, yeah.
Right. So if you put
So it
112 in there, you've got to put something somewhere else in local receipts.
You wouldn't, because there would be no local receipts. This is why I moved it to the 71. because
Yeah.
There'll be
Yeah.
no local receipts to offset the 112.
See, that's my thing, is Rutland can't just walk away from that agreement like that. Not by the agreement as it's written. So you can't say they just won't pay us what they've committed to pay us when the agreement says you'll give us 90 days prior to the fiscal year that you are leaving the agreement. They would have had to tell us 3 months ago so we could have budgeted accordingly, according to our agreement. Now, I know bad things happen, you don't just rub it in someone's face, you work through it. I don't mean it. So That's why I'm saying right now is the worst time in the world. You tell somebody that you're in agreement with, we abandon the agreement.
Yeah.
So they need to understand that as well as we do. And if they're really saying we can't afford it, then they also need to sit at the table with us and come up with an agreed plan
But we're
in
saying-
less than a week. I'm sorry, so I'm getting ready to write an email to Phil to see if he can recognize the importance of this.
I think we should reduce it some. We shouldn't go with the 112.
No,
The 112 is the two towns.
Yeah.
That
It's
assumes,
three entities.
but it assumes payments, that's a
It's
full,
Rutland Dispatch, like Rutland
that's a
Regional.
full bill for the whole job.
Yeah.
So that assumes there'll be something coming in local receipts, okay? By lowering it to 7150, that's just our cost anyway. If you
That's
take the
our cost and
112
our
plus,
expenses.
plus put in the buy, it would still come
Okay,
out
our
71.
costs with the IT.
So if Adam's gonna
So-
go as a
I like
consultant,
71.
So if we went up to the, like the 91, go up a little.
I like the 71.5 for now. It's gonna be a fluid situation
If-
anyway.
I have a
It was
question.
112 with Rutland paying 2/3 of
The
it.
budget should be.
And now to take out just our share, that is 71, that doesn't make sense.
Let me open it up, hold on.
I
It
definitely
was
would change
112,
it.
it's split in three ways. and
You were only splitting, hold on, you were only splitting the salary. We had $30,000 worth of expenses.
And that was what you computed.
What was the?
It could be any infrastructure, anything.
So that 71,000 you have in there is his salary plus,
Yep, so the salary was originally 81, then adding the assistant was 96,000. There's 31,500 in expenses. So it's basically $40,000 for a position.
which is about half of what it really costs. Two for a whole person. You said that included an assistant.
Well, it did, but what I did is I took what Rutland, receipts from Rutland would be, which was $58,000, and that's where I came to the 40. Because those receipts will be gone. That means
Yes, yeah.
it's up to you guys what you want to plug in here. I mean, this,
Like the 71.
it is fluid,
I
but
think that's where our costs would.
if something
if we have
changes, you
to-
can always
Do something later.
Pay it.
we have to-
fix it at the end of the year.
Yeah,
That's what I say.
Next
Go
year.
in- go
Yeah.
in- I think we go into that.
Okay.
And then,
yeah.
because her needs could be more.
They could be, I mean, it's,
I have a question. You said he's gonna follow through on some projects. Will that be at the rate of a consultant? Has that been
no, I think
determined?
because he hasn't said that yet, but I think he's just going to finish the project.
He's gonna honor his,
Yeah. Yep. So sewer department, I highlighted that because there were some updates with the insurance stuff. Nancy finished her updates because we would have open enrollment until May.
Mhm.
And so she did only level funded until that came in.
Mhm.
So there obviously had been some changes. So that reflects, and the insurance numbers, that all came to real numbers now instead of just
So
level.
this is a real number?
That's a real number.
Okay.
I have a question, Mr. Chairman, on the police. It's 685, 167, according to the latest sheet that Faye printed up for me. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Amy is still plugged in for a 2% increase. That would be a COLA raise. Are we giving all town employees a COLA raise?
I may have missed that one, I apologize, that was supposed to come out. So I can adjust that rate. And I think,
Well, the other one that you need to put would be.
correct, yeah, I think I just may have missed pulling that one out, I apologize.
So that number will change.
It will be It will, yeah. Let me,
Nothing.
Once you get back to, oh, this, we would get our employees,
I think that's good.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
good point.
One gets it the other.
right?
Yeah.
So if you go back to the FY 17,
yeah, 3451.
correct. That's my concern with the money was.
So that number at the end will change to 684,568. 684,568.
So the bottom line will change. Wait and see if there's anything else.
Still 200,000.
Yeah, yeah,
What was that number I just gave you? 684?
684.
568.
568.
Okay, so
44 cents. That's a real number. That's all that is, right?
that is a real number. Yeah, that has, I can't recall off the top of my head why that changed.
That's a,
That may have been legal counsel came in with a slight increase. Sewer department, we did that one, right? Treasurer collector, 143.81, that was. I think I just hadn't had it plugged correctly over, oh, the 9,600, that's what that difference is. Because we decided to fund the 9,600 for tax title, which she said was the least that we had to
oh,
contribute.
that's what's in it.
Yeah, so that's
Okay.
what changed that number. The veterans, after it had, what Ted the other day, we decided we would fully fund the veterans request and not cut him short. And
That's,
you know,
that's what he requested.
he's gonna be lucky if he makes it to that,
Yeah.
at least to that money at this point in time. So we thought it would be best just to put it in now as a real number. We did take it out for the fact of trying to balance, but since we're still so far off, we might as well.
0.7%.
Yeah, and water commission again, that is because of the insurance changes, the real numbers are in. So I was able to.
But also,
propose it.
that was the fact that we were counting it twice too.
Yes,
There's some insurance numbers in the treasurer's report, and there's some insurance numbers in the budget. The budget submitted, so we counted some of that twice.
I counted it twice. I
Yeah.
put the full budget in, the full budget for treasurer
Yeah.
collector, and then realized it can't be in all of it. So it's all absorbed in the health, dental, those lines,
Yeah.
instead of in the budget lines. The other thing, ambulance reserve receipts. I think we originally had 380 put there. After talking with Jean, we decided that you can only budget with what's in the reserve receipts account. And I think the actual balance is like 337, so we figured 325 will leave just a little
I
bit.
mean, it's not right, it's insane to have an actual number in there. All the other expenses are next year's numbers. Not to project revenues to next year, makes no sense, but that's what you have to do, so that's why that number's in there.
Okay. So if you get down to the bottom, you see where we're at. And we're still, we're not plugging any free cash number in. Hopefully we'll be able to have that before town meeting, or for town meeting.
What's the 208 now?
That's the negative, that's what we're at.
It didn't change it with
It's
your change?
208, 304.
Okay.
Sorry, I forgot that we made changes. So that's what we'll present tonight. Does anybody have any questions?
If we did have that free cash number, which we were working on before, we had plugged in 150,000, we would deduct that from the 208, so it'd be roughly 50,000.
Correct. Yep.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. So the only other thing I need you guys to do before the, public hearing tonight is just to vote, if you'd like, favorable or non-favorable recommendations for the articles. The selectmen did vote to take off all of the finance articles, and money articles are gone. We hope that,
Thank
we hope that in the fall, we could look revisit them.
Yeah, because our capital plan is really up in the air.
Yeah, those guys are working pretty good.
Well, no, I mean,
Yeah,
we have no money to spend on those capital.
correct, yeah, so we'll revisit them, whenever we have a special town meeting. And whatever, free cash that comes in, once we balance the budget, will go into stabilization.
But
Because
for
it
now-
has to be spent, by June 30th. So, if you guys wanna do the articles, sorry for the small print. It's squeezed from a legal to a letter. As you know, 1 through 4 are like housekeeping, that's regular stuff. So if you guys,
Aye.
I'm sorry,
Make a motion. We vote on Article 1, 2, 3, and 4. I make a motion, recommendation, favorable action.
Aye.
all right, do you want me to explain some things as we go along?
Yes.
Okay, Article 5 is this has to be established, this is new, DLS, Department of whatever they are, said that this is how we have to do this now, we have to accept this as a bylaw. And then the next article, Article 6, will be the traditional way of us doing the revolving funds, but we just had to accept that Mass General Law in Article 5. I'm sorry?
We don't really have a choice.
We don't, no.
So we can bundle 5 and 6 together, right?
If you'd like to,
Now you have a sheet with all those,
it goes into the booklet. Yeah, there's a
Okay.
table.
yeah,
I'm working on that still.
I make a motion, we vote favorable action for Article 5 and 6.
second.
Right?
Aye.
Article 7, this is a regular, article, housekeeping article, it's just to appoint the assessors, one of them to a paid working assessor.
Make a motion, we vote favorable action on Article 7.
Article 8 is, if you can recall, the assessors used to have in their budget a carryover. They always carried over the
Yeah.
cyclical.
Yeah.
And we decided last year to do it as articles. This is that article. And it is 32.5 as usual.
And that reflects on the sheet.
Correct.
I make a motion, we vote favorable on Article 8, 32,500.
Second.
All in favor?
35,000.
35,200, I
Oh,
apologize. Not
35.
32.5,
35,000.
35,200. Sorry.
30, 35 too?
Yes.
Okay,
We had the 205, so.
good.
And that number will be reflected in the motion. Article 9, we may have to make some adjustments from what was appropriated last year. One of them will be the police chief's budget. If you remember, we passed on this for special. We'll address it right now. So I don't know what other ones will come up, but I'm going to work with Jean to get that completed. So if you guys,
Is that a to be determined?
we can, if you'd like.
Because we would have to vote,
I'll do to be given if you'd like.
Yeah.
Okay,
because we have to vote.
Take a vote.
yeah,
Once they know where they are, you have to vote, right?
yeah.
But we
Yeah.
don't have a figure.
Do you want to make a motion to have it be to be given?
Yeah, make a motion, we, to be given at the town meeting.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So the snow and ice, these Article 10 and Article 11 total $130,000. I have the exact number.
I'm sorry.
Don't you have to have it broken up for that night?
I do, it will be.
Okay,
Yeah, because one's overtime and one's.
yeah.
So the overtime deficit is 29,092.
29,092.
Correct.
I make a motion to favorable on Article 10 for the amount of 29,092.
Second it.
All in favor?
All right.
Who seconded that? I'm sorry.
I did.
Thank you. The next one is the expense, which was 101,255.
Which one's in?
Article 11.
Make a motion to favorable action on Article 11 in the amount of $101,255.
Second.
All in favor?
All right.
If I can have you guys do Article 12 as to be given, I don't have the omnibus completed yet, so I don't have a total figure to give you. It seems like something may change still, so.
I make a motion that Article 12 to be given.
All in favor?
Article 13 is the sewer. Total budget, which is 633,499.
What does that include? Putting in here.
It includes the insurance.
Oh, okay.
Yep,
So it's 633.
499. And it's reflected in there, Richie. I can show you this.
Make a motion to favorable action on Article 13 in the amount of $633,499.
All in favor?
All right.
So the water number is 497,035.
I make a motion to vote favorable on Article 14 for the amount of 497,035.
Second.
All right, the next one is the GASB 45 actuarial. That's $5,000.
Make a motion to recommend favorable action on Article 15 in the amount of $5,000.
Second. All in favor?
And OPEB, we decided to fund that with $5,000, if you can recall.
Make a motion to favorable action on Article 16 in the amount of $5,000.
All in favor?
Next one is for solar, which is, I think they're working on trying to get it on the sewer department. It'll be a lease, not a purchase. We're not purchasing the solar like we did at DPW, it would be just lease space.
And who will come up with that figure of select board?
I don't believe there is a figure. I think it's just granting an easement. There's no money. It's just granting an easement.
Make a
So
motion.
is the company, how can it just be an easy?
Well, they give it on the permission
And then
to
we
use
have
that
the
property, and
credits.
then we get the credits. Make a motion to favorable action on Article 17.
All in favor?
Article 18, Jim Baird is still reviewing this pilot agreement, which is a payment of taxes.
Now, where is this solar panel?
I have something here.
I was wondering where this one was.
This is the one on South Street, across from Stetson, one that's just going in.
So we should probably give it to the guys. If Jim Beard's still working on it.
I think he said he was gonna be all set with it, but
To be given.
Yeah.
whichever you like.
Make a motion that, Article 18, recommendation to be given.
Second.
Article 19 is basically to make people ask permission to be digging, say, with metal detectors, they have to ask for permission.
Right, so there always was an understanding that it was not to be allowed.
Correct.
Evidently, there wasn't even some issue that's not written down.
That's what I get out of that, yep,
I think it's a wise idea, because they work very hard.
they sure do.
Okay, I make a motion to favorable action on Article 19.
This is the moratorium on the marijuana that the planning board would like to do, which will hold any applicants until the state comes up with their regulations.
Now, will they have a copy of that in the warrant?
I believe so,
We have it.
I'm not sure, we're just, Jim Baird and I are deciding if it's going to be in the warrant or just handouts right now. They'll be signed. Whether it's included or not, I'm not sure. We're deciding.
We'll get that before the town meeting, they have a meeting prior to the meeting,
Possibly.
so that we could look at it before. Should we do it, should we give
You
it?
can take no action on it even, it's up to you.
I hate to vote on something.
It's not a finance, it's not really, it's not a finance article, so you can always take no action.
I don't want to vote on something, I don't know what it is.
Finance committee takes no action on Second.
Real estate disposition, this gentleman is trying to put in a septic system and he doesn't have enough land or frontage, so it's like literally, I think it's big as a table. It's a very small piece that he needs, so again, it's not.
Make a motion to take no action on
Article 22, again, is another DLS bylaw that they're trying to have us establish with the cable access money. So we established this special revenue fund, and the next article allows us to spend out of it, so.
Okay, I'll group 22 and 23 together and make a motion for favorable action.
Second. All in favor?
Article 24 is a citizen's petition.
So we all say that.
Take no action.
Make a motion to take no action.
Second. All in favor?
And Article 25 is the transfer of the stabilization and free cash that there is remaining.
Motion we favorable action on Article 24.
Second. All in favor?
All right. And then that takes us to the end of that. We have about 20 minutes until public hearing, so you guys want to take a recess until then?